to show you how to install the Kaon front recovery points that suit the Prado and FJ Cruiser. I'm really excited about these. I'll show you why.
Oh, nice skills.
You might be thinking it doesn't look like your normal recovery point. That's because it's not. Kaon have gone above and beyond to make these fits to 2 different planes on the vehicle, which gives you a lot better clearance and also strength, being able to pull from different angles instead of bending the flat bar like they normally are. These are going to be wicked. Time for us to install these now. The kit comes with all the hardware required. The only other stuff that you're going to have to grab is some copper ease. You just got to chuck it on the threads, stops it from binding up. First, what you're going to want to do is clean the surfaces on where it's going to be mounting. These are compatible with both the FJ Cruiser and the Prado because they're a very similar platform. So this furthest back hole is for the Prado. This one towards the front is for the FJ Cruiser. So this one will just be an empty hole. So you'll just have the 1, 2, 3 fixings. Your hole might be a bit... No, I don't want to talk about people's holes, eh?
As soon as you said that, I was like,
Just want to put some copper ease, just dab at the start of it. And then most probably, if you've been off-road and stuff, there's nothing that's normally in this hole, so it might be full of stuff. So you might have to like try and wind this bolt through to clear it out. That makes it easier when you're fitting it up. All right, now we've got the Nord lock washer and then the big washer because we don't have a bull bar. So I'll sit that up there, wind this in all the way, just finger tight, so that way it still has movement to play around. And while you're doing it, you just want to also make sure that it's like seating properly. For this last hole, there's no nut in the chassis, so we're going to need to use this fancy gadget, and it's got 2 notches on it. The back notches for FJ Cruiser and the front notches for the Prado. So now we've folded this to 90 degrees, we just want to slide that in there like so, and then aim for this hole right here, which is right there, perfect. Then we'll just feed the bolt through. So now we just want to get our washer. On the back hole, you need to have a washer on either side of the plate. So it goes Nord lock washer and then a washer. And it's going to go like that over the plate. So you want to slide that in just down behind it and sort of catch it as it falls. Like that. And if we get this to line up in the hole and sit it there, then we'll get this and we'll try and locate the bolt that's sticking on the inside, which is about there. So I felt it fall over it, and then we should be able to wind this in and just grab it. Yep, now that that's connected to the bolt, we'll just leave that loose and we'll come to the front. While everything is still loose, we want to make sure that this is seated in there properly, because this is another connection that we need to be nice and tight. And with this copper ease, you can either put it in there or put it on the thread. This needs to sit inside this tie down point. And then you want to feed that through while lifting that up so that way it sits in nicely. Feed that through. And then find the hole. Just wind it in. Now these are still loose, we're going to tighten this one up first. The reason we want to tighten this one up first is because it needs to seat perfectly in the cutout, and if you go ahead and tighten these ones up first, it might not be perfect here. Now that that one's done up decent, we'll go to the middle one. Now that we've tightened this one up, we just bend it back around and tuck it into the chassis, so that way if you want to pull it back off at a later date, that's still there. If you go ahead and snap that off, well, it's not going to be fun trying to get that back out. In the instructions, it says that we need to torque all the bolts to 126 Newton meters. So we'll just set this to 126. We'll tighten that off. Now I can show you what I was talking about earlier, how it mounts to the sides as well as the front. Because of this extra front mount, it's able to be horizontally mounted, which gives you more clearance. And because this is 20 mil thick billet that's been CNC machined, it has smooth radius edges, which means it's compatible with soft shackles.